welcome back to Shemsuniverse. So today, guys, we're going to discuss the pinnacle number 3. So in your third pinnacle, guys, this is going to take place between like your late 30s, early 40s, and then extend into about your mid 40s sort of range, maybe late 40s depending on your life path number. So how to calculate the third pinnacle is you simply add your first and second pinnacle numbers together, and that gives you your third. To give a little bit of a recap, your pinnacle numbers are just what's going to happen in your external environment. So things are going to affect you. This is a time in which when the transitions are occurring, you may lose a job, you may get married, may get divorced. Just very dramatic things may happen to alter your vision of the world, and the whole world physically around you may change as well, depending on what number you seem to come across at that time. So it's a very important and crucial number to know so that you're able to actually overcome the adversity or even gain from the advantages that you get during some of these pinnacle numbers. So that's why it's so important to know what they are and then see how they intercept with your expression number, with your life path number, and then you can make a better judgment on how to move forward and create pretty much a better war plan, a better strategy for yourself. All right, so I want to start off with the number 1 today. So number 1 in the third pinnacle would mean that you're being tested of your will. You need to have a very iron will. You need to have self-confidence. You need to gain self-sufficiency during this time. And this is something that could be hard to do because in your midlife where you might be with family, you might feel like you're tied down. And what needs to happen here is that you need to understand that you yourself are still an individual and that you can still make a big mark on the world even at the like middle age. Even if you're 40, if you're 45, you can still make a lot happen. If you have the number 1 there, you're going to have the capacity to really make a change in your life. And the number 1 energy is going to help you do that and innovate a whole new life for yourself if you wish. The challenges you're going to experience is that you're going to be tested by other people to see how strong your will really is. And self-sufficiency is going to be of the utmost importance. So you may not be getting much help, but you're going to have the solar energy of the number 1 through the sun to help you assist you in your individual endeavors. So my advice is do everything individually and just run through the opposition and just run through life in itself. Make sure you get your agenda and prerogatives done by any means necessary at this time. The number 2 is more about cooperation, helping others. It has a lot to do with even asking for help. So people that get the number 2 in their third pinnacle tend to be people that might be very self-sufficient as is. They may not be very used to asking others for help. But this is a time where you're going to have to lean on your family, you're going to have to lean on friends, and it doesn't mean you're going to lean on them with like necessity or dependency. But what it means is that you're going to need other people to go on in different endeavors with you. Your agenda may be to have businesses, but you might need business partners. You might need to improve your marriage at this point. So these are things you're going to have to work on and see how you're cooperating with the people in your immediate environment and try to harmonize it even more. And the strength of the moon is going to very much help with that. So it's more of a time of looking at maybe not necessarily money, but how you're actually cooperating and just interpreting your environment. If you're somebody who's very self-sufficient, very narcissistic or anything like that, you're going to want to look at life in a bit of a different way and start seeing people's angles and viewpoints and then make different changes to alter how your conditions are. Right? The number 3 in the third pinnacle has a lot to do with discipline and focus. Number 3 is a great number. However, it's creative, but it could be quite scattered. And you may have a lot of opportunity here to get different creative outlets done, create something very new, whether it be with individually or with a number of people. The number 3 is the son of the sun, which is number 1, and the son of the moon, which is considered its mom, which is 2. So what you have to do is you have the capabilities of 1 and 2 there. So what you want to do is make sure that you're using the people around you in a very healthy way, transactional way, while also staying disciplined and focused so that they want to come with you on your quest. If you can really focus diligently on your competence, your discipline, your focus at this time, everything else will kind of work itself out for you. The number 4 in the third pinnacle has a lot to do with creating that foundation that you've been looking for. So if you get the number 4 in the third pinnacle, the universe is saying, hey, it's time to get very serious. It's time to build something that's going to be left behind as a legacy. It doesn't mean you're dying. It just simply means that you're in a state of mind and your circumstances are conveying to you that you need to set something up to have more stability, more security in your life for yourself, but moreover for other people as well. So the numbers are very sequential. The number 1 had to do with being yourself. The number 2 had to do with cooperating with others, one-on-one. Number 3 had to do with group. Number 4 now has to do with the whole family. It has to do with yourself, the one-on-one relations, the group, and now building that 4 corners, that security behind everything and making sure things are stabilized and ready. If you're able to understand this, that concept of creating stability within your environment, you're going to understand that you're going to become a cornerstone in your friendship groups, in your family. You're going to be something that people look to for advice. You're going to be the organizer, the disciplinarian, the authority. And it's a really great opportunity to really get more responsibility on your back and not make it burden you. You're going to have the strength of Rahu, the strength of Uranus at that time to really bring out the best of you and bring out a very competent version of yourself through organization, discipline, efficiency. All right? The number 5 has a lot to do with experiencing different freedom. And the second pinnacle is about restriction. When it's in the third, it really means that you might have a chance to really let loose more. It's Mercury. Things may happen quite quickly in this pinnacle, meaning if you have 5 in your third, it may be that your life might go on a trajectory of more fast pace. You might get fast money, fast promotions, meet new friends, meet new people, colleagues at work. And what you have to do is integrate these new things that are coming to you and then use it on a utilitarian basis. Meaning you got to look at life and understand, like the weakness of the 3 was being scattered. The number 5 is a very similar thing where it can get scattered. It has very good luck. But with that good luck comes responsibility. With great power always comes great responsibility. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on the tasks at hand while also integrating the new things in your life. So you want to be like the water. You want to adapt to different things as they come and then make the best use out of them. That's my best advice for anybody that has the number 5 and the third pinnacle. The number 6 is very magnetic. The number 6 in the third pinnacle brings forth a lot of artistic skills, the ability to create, the ability to have different business affiliations, political affiliations, and it brings you a lot of money. This is very good. It's Venus. It gives you a very luxurious lifestyle, upgrade in status, and if your life has been going on a sort of a negative connotation, it's going to go onto a very positive one if you use your resources correctly. So you're going to have, like I said, these doesn't lock in your destiny. But what it does is it helps you understand that the topic, the theme of your life, it's a chapter in your book, is starting to change. And if you can work with that change correctly, work with that narrative, you're going to get ahead a lot faster. So when you have the number 6 there, you want to make sure that you're harmonizing the way the number 2 would. You're still being a leader the way the number 1 would. You're working with the group the way the number 3 would. You're being a stable individual the way the number 4 would, and you're accepting the new things in your life the way the number 5 would. And the number 6 is taking all these things together and utilizing them in a very great way and creating something more beautiful, more luxurious, more presentable. And this is what you do. You improve circumstances during this time. So if your fitness isn't good, it's time to improve your fitness, improve your beauty, improve your home, your room, anything. You can improve things at this time, make them more beautiful, more attractive to yourself, because Venus helps you with the power of attraction. And attraction doesn't necessarily just mean being magnetizing and thinking something that happens. It means attraction is in better clothes, better family outlets, better parties. All these things come into play here. And if you're able to understand that, then you're going to work with the number 6 quite well, very competently. The next one would be the number 7. So number 7 in third pinnacle means that you're going to get a bit more of the isolation, solitude. You're going to be somebody who's going to have the opportunity to finally figure out your spiritual awareness. So this is a whole other vibration now. The 1 to 6 is a bit similar. They intercept with each other. 7, 8, and 9 are a bit separate, higher vibrations. So with the 7 now, what we have is that isolation that brings you the ability to really isolate and really figure out what your belief system is. So this doesn't mean that you're not going to get money at this time or upgrade your status. You might already be in a very presentable place, a very good place where you're content with those things, the material things of life. But the immaterial, the spiritual, the feelings, the reasoning of being here, your purpose, this is where you're going to find it if you have a 7 pinnacle. It's a very great one to have, but you need to really look inside and stop looking outside for that sense of contentment and that sense of being fulfilled and living here. So you're going to find it in your spiritual self. So if you have the number 7 there, figure out what your belief system is, whether you believe in a creator of the universe, whether you believe you are the universe, whether you believe spirituality or religion, and master that and get diligent with it, get disciplined and understand it fully so that you have a very solid foundation when you go out into the world and embark on different journeys. The next one would be the number 8. And the number 8 it intercepts with the 7. So now watch how this goes, guys. If you have the number 8 in the third pinnacle, you're going to have the 8 that wants you to deal with material objects, getting more money, getting status, getting things like that. But the 8 is two circles. The upper circle has a lot to do with materialism, and the bottom circle has nothing to do with materialism. It has to do with spirituality. It has to do with your sense of being. Very similar to the 7. So at this point, what you're looking at is, how do I become a spiritual person that's also a mogul, a boss, a CEO, a tycoon? This is a very powerful pinnacle number to have, especially in the midlife. It's going to expect a lot. Saturn's a very strict planet. It's very disciplinarian. So it wants you to look within yourself, find a solid belief system, and then materialize your belief system into the world by creating better circumstances for yourself and for your family. So this is a number that will give you what you want if you're willing to work for it. What you're going to have to expect is a bit of slow progress. You're going to expect hard work, late hours, but you will definitely achieve your aims and go a lot higher than you anticipated. This number will give you random good luck as well. You have to say, even if you're putting in the work, if you're actually putting in the effort and controlling your thoughts, words, and deeds, controlling your vision, your planning, your competence, you will achieve your means, because the Saturn is the planet of karma. So having this as a pinnacle, your karma is going to be amplified. If you're able to know and materialize and actually objectify karma and understand it, you'll master the number 8 pretty much with ease. But you need to understand karma, the cause and effect of everything, and then everything else, it'll be a cakewalk. Now, the next one I want to discuss is the number 9. Number 9 is very ideological. It's all about Mars. This is where a person typically becomes a philanthropist. When you have 9 in the third pinnacle, it combines the 7 and the 8 with it. So the 7 was all about spirituality. The 9 knows how to idealize that and then come to a good concept of whether they believe it or they don't. The number 8 with the finances, they want to make sure that they're in a good financial position. They'll go to war to get it done the way Mars would. And then the 9 brings forth that sort of giving back to humanity energy. And when you're able to give back to humanity and really be that philanthropist, that's where you get the 9 fulfilled. So this part of your life is really going to be about either giving back to one-on-one people, or to a group, to the community, or to the whole world. And you can already be a very successful person if you have 9 in the third pinnacle, and that means that it's time for you to give back. It's time for you to reap the rewards of your harvest, but also share it with other people. So as a collective, you build better karma for yourself. And of course, just the good deed of helping others is always very fulfilling as well. All right, the last two I want to cover is the 11 and the 22. The 11 and 22 are on total different tangents than all these other numbers, different chapter again. So the 11 in the third pinnacle might give you a feeling of not really being physically here. You may even feel incompetent or inferior, because the 11 brings forth such a strong, powerful energy of the number 1 and an amplified version of the number 2, that you may feel like you're not number 1, and you may feel like you cannot cooperate or harmonize or understand other people, because your ability to do so is so heavily impacted. You're going to have extra power with sensitivity, with empathy, with clairvoyance, and you're going to have the willpower of a lion at this point. But you need to be able to tone that, tame it, and then really shape it. You want to figure out a physical archetype for yourself at this point, meaning figure out who you really are, figure out what that means to you, and then objectify that in the world. The last one would be the 22. The 22 is the most extreme number you can have in the third pinnacle. It demands everything that you've learned, just like in the last one, and it demands you to use it to its full throttle, meaning never take your foot off the gas. It wants you to go very hard. It wants you to have the humanitarianism of the 9. It wants you to have the money of the 8. It wants you to have the spirituality of the 7. It wants you to have the willpower of the 1. It wants you to have the cooperation of the 2, the group dynamic of the 3, the stability of the 4. It demands everything. It demands the freedom of the 5. It demands the harmonization, the magnetism, the energy of the 6. You need to bring all of these together and really condense it and understand it, and can make a firm energy ball out of it and then penetrate your reality. And that's what the 22 really brings to the table. So that's the master builder, it's the architect, it's the person that can make anything out of anything. So you got to have that sort of God complex about yourself and understand that you can create anything once you have the self-confidence to do so, and once you're willing to use everything that you've learned to get things done. After that, the universe will start working for you and produce better results for you in the process. All right, so that should finalize the third pinnacle, guys. If you guys do have any questions whatsoever, just please leave it in the comments for me. Aside from that, guys, please like, subscribe, follow me. That's it for today, guys. Peace.